Garrett just got surried out, and that really upsets me and my fantasy, because somebody has to replace Garrett, and it's either going to be Henry or Riley. Like, Henry, like, no, don't want that. Riley is like this person who's like a more of an underdog than me, maybe, or like under the radar. And he's like a fucking like politician shit, or he's into like fucking like the government politics. Like, I know that bitch can probably speak. All I fucking do is like fucking watch reality TV and fight people online and play Roblox. Like, and I like scary movies. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to like compete with that? So it's kind of like a pick your poison thing.
Respect?
No, I don't. Tell you this, Henry. So my entire tribe, Lewis, JD, Skylar, me, Alfie, and Bennett, our whole plan was in Stand Brother, the big threat always wins. They talk about getting the big threat out, but they never make the move till it's too late. You were the big threat, and you're in the final four.
I'm probably going to be the next one out, so we'll see what
you've been the biggest challenge beast so far.
But I think that, Peter, you're the only one of us that hasn't used an idol.
Yeah.
So I would have been fucked if that had happened. Riley and Garrett both would have tied if I just used the idol and neither of them had. But I mean, we'll see what happens. Good luck in the final immunity.
Yeah, good luck.
You played a good game. I'm not going to be bitter against anyone. I hope I win it. I'll say that. But we'll see what happens.
Right. Congratulations, Henry, Peter, Tave, and Riley. A few minutes ago, I did inform you that this is a final immunity challenge, which means there will be a final 3. So congratulations. You're almost there.
So I'm going to try to win this final 4 immunity because obviously I want final 3. I'm pretty sure if Henry doesn't win immunity, he's going to go home. And if he does, I'm sure Peter will go home because he's been kind of picking it up in the last couple of weeks, and I feel like he has the best underdog story, even though I feel like he's done absolutely nothing, and he hasn't controlled a single vote, and he's been on the bottom the entire time, and not like a good bottom story where you come to the top, but no, he's literally just been like floating and doing nothing. But either way, I think the jury would give him some votes, which is annoying. Anyway, I think Henry will win hands down, though, even though he's actually been on the wrong side of the votes every time, so I'm just trying to make sure Henry does win.
So Matt announces it's the final immunity challenge, and whoever wins this is guaranteed a spot at the final 3, a spot at the final tribal council, where they can pitch their case as to why they think they should win this game to the jury. So it's time to buckle down and win this challenge, because I want to win this whole game.
When people left the game, I asked them to send 3 words to describe their whole experience, and you need to identify who said what 3 words. I will say it in here, and you need to DM your confessional who you think it is. Okay?
In confessional?
Yep.
Let me just find that real quick.
First person with 3 points or the highest amount of points will win immunity. I don't think not everyone sent it, so I can tell you how many there are.
Good luck, guys, anyway. Everyone deserves to win here. That's the truth.
First round, guys. Here are the 3 words. Stressful. Not even woman, and and not even racism.
Could you say that again? Sorry.
Stressful, not even woman, and racism.
Wait, is this the entire cast or just jury?
Entire cast, but not everyone sent it. I thought it was obvious. The only person that did not score was Henry.
Not bad.
Okay, well, comp flop. Y'all know who to take final 3.
Henry, do you have a second guess?
Yeah, Kayla.
Yeah, the answer was Kayla. So Peter.
Okay, I just didn't think it would be that obvious.
Next one. Draining, fun, and dramatic.
Oh, that's so bad. That could be anyone.
Peter has scored. He's at 2 points.
Who was it?
Alfie.
Wasn't he like second boot? Or whatever.
Merge boot.
Anyways.
What? Whose 3 words was this? Fun, dumb, bullshit.
Oomph is fucking mad.
A straighty.
None of you got it right. It was Rayshawn.
Oh my god.
That makes sense, I guess.
He really said first boot was fun, huh?
Yeah, like
Okay.
what?
Dope, stressful, and fun. Peter and Riley score a point.
It was Bennett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Bennett.
Oh, I want to come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Peter has 2.
I have 3.
Oh no, we have 3. My bad. I'm
For
sorry.
honestly, fuck taking notes because this ain't a.
This
I
ain't
didn't
notes.
take notes.
This
I
isn't
just got to
notes.
know the people.
This is knowing your
Exactly.
people.
That's what I'm saying.
You said this: exhilarating, iconic, and unexpected.
Not bad.
Unfortunately, no one got it right again. It was no. I'm sorry, Peter. It's Lewis.
Yeah, that's fine.
Who was it?
Oh, I wasn't going to say him anyways.
Who? Sorry.
Unexpected.
Lewis.
Okay, I would never. would've guessed that.
Unexpected?
In my
Yeah,
regular.
unexpected.
He wasn't. I was going to change to Molly.
I don't know what he meant by unexpected, but anyways. Whose 3 words are these? Stressful, entertaining, and gay.
Not bad.
Everyone but Peter scores with Skylar.
Damn.
I guess Skylar 3 times. I finally got it.
Hey, I guess Skylar 3 times too.
Same.
3 to 3.
Who 3 is okay? Someone else took a different approach to their 3 word. Kill me now. The correct answer was Molly. Peter's the only one who scored.
That was my second guess. I hate that.
Okay, I think Peter's got this.
How many rounds left?
Like not enough. Not enough.
No, Riley's still in it. Yeah, 3 left. So anyone's a game really. Even
Okay.
Henry's still in it too.
I am.
Yes.
Period.
Okay. Who said this? Irritating, short, and liars.
What's the last word?
Liars.
Oh.
Henry and Riley score with Matt. So that puts Riley's tying with Peter, and Dave and Henry are together. He said this: long, annoying, and boring. How am I game boring? Correct answer was Kyler. Peter and Henry score. Tave, you're out.
Wait, long?
1 round left.
Right.
If it comes to a tie, it will be a game notes question.
Okay,
A what question?
A notes question about the game.
Okay.
not bad. Not me taking no
You
notes.
said fun, scared, and sad. Fun, scared, and sad. Riley and Peter have said JD, and it is right. Therefore, Peter has one final mini and will have a chance to plead his case to the jury. Congratulations,
Congratulations.
Peter.
Oh, God.
Thank you, everyone. I want to cry.
Not bad.
Tave, voting. We're Tave. I don't know if you're around. 3. I'll give you guys until 2:30. How about that?
I'm just saying I'm voting for Henry. He's going to win if he makes it to the end.
Yeah, I figured I feel like it's probably me or Tave right now who's going, but I feel like it's probably me. Do what you will. That's fine.
So I really respect the game of everyone else in this Final Four, but I do feel like now it's the Final Four. Peter just won immunity. Obviously that sucks. I really wanted it. But the only option I have is just to downplay my gameplay as much as I can, because I basically need Riley to not vote me out so we can send it to fire. And because I don't think Riley's going to go, because Riley is basically my closest ally right now, we need to pin the votes on Tave. So I'm going to be voting for Tave. That should be pretty obvious. I just need to flip him, and to do that, I'm just going to have to bring up every bad thing in my game and make myself look like the worst Survivor player in history.
So I'm so happy, I'm freaking out. I won the Final Four Immunity Challenge, I'm guaranteed a spot at the final Tribal Council, and I'll get a chance to pitch my case to the jury as why I think I should win. I think I deserve over everybody left here, and I'm just hoping the jury can see that as well.
So it was really close in the final immunity, and I'm really annoyed that I didn't win, because I was second place. Like, Henry was not winning, so mission accomplished. Peter ended up winning, which is whatever. I'm just annoyed because I think like Peter will make himself out to be like some kind of comp beast where he saved the day and he ended Henry. I'm like, I was runner up. Like, if you did poorly, I was gonna win. Like, we didn't need you. You didn't save anything. Like, Nothing.
Henry is trying to say that I'm playing the best game, that like I'm such a threat, I'm such a like, the entire jury likes me, like I will get all the votes, I'm the one who will win, yada yada yada. Like, first of all, shut the fuck up. Second of all, shut the fuck up. Like, no. Like, I know what Henry's doing, but I genuinely, at this point in time, do not believe that I'm the biggest threat. Because I'm fucking tired. It's 3 a.m. And, like, I know what I'm up against. Like, I know Garrett's best friends with Peter. Riley's a good speaker. Like, Henry, like, just shut the fuck up. Take your torch and go snuff it. Like, it was making me mad, but at the end of the day, like, I still love Henry.
So going into Tribal, I think it's obvious who needs to go home, and that's Henry. He's played the best game up until this point. He's the biggest threat, and I feel like if Riley or Tave flip and turn it into a fire-making challenge, they are complete idiots.
I guess I'll plea to you, Riley.
Cries.
Yeah, I might as well plea. I don't give a shit. Tave's here. Tave's probably going to vote for me. I'm going to vote for Tave. Riley, you can either send it to fire making, probably, or just send me home, and that's fine. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't think Tave would vote Riley, unless you wanted to. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think... Okay, so I played Survivor yesterday. It was my second game. This is my third game. I definitely played a better game yesterday. Today, I did win an advantage, and I used it on one vote to get Alfie out. Unfortunately, I didn't need to. I could have saved it. That could have helped me along a lot. But I mean, I did still make it here at the end of the day. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm glad with where I came, but I did waste the immunity. I feel like I didn't really make a play with it. I did have to use it on myself in the end. Just like when it expired, so did 3 other people.
Same. Yeah.
So I'm not surprised by that. But if you want to tell me, like, can I ask you, Riley, why do you think I played a better game than Tave?
Not you trying to get Tave to hate me.
No. Me and Tave are voting each other, okay? Like, we are.
Not that. See, I don't even necessarily believe that's true, right? But it's not about me. It's not. It's like literally everyone who is left has said that like you're the one who's gonna win, and like I can't.
For
like,
what? What have I done? Name one move that I've done.
I agree with you. I could not
name one move. Tell me.
I could not name one, but I don't think the jury is like. I don't think they have open ears like that. So I don't.
The thing is, when Molly left, I told her, it fucking sucks, but I told Molly not to use her idol because I didn't think. Okay, so a couple times I definitely was on the wrong side of the vote. With Molly, with John, I didn't think either of them were leaving. Mm-hmm. John actually threw a vote because we thought the idol was going to be used that week. Trust me when I say this. I don't know what people have been telling you, but if you send it to fire making now, it's going to be a lot fairer in terms of like what the jury thinks. But I don't think I played a better game than anyone here, if I'm honest. I've messed up so many fucking times, and the jury questions would tell you that.
The thing is, I feel like...
Tell me one good move that I made.
At this point, right. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you now, you're connected to every single person on this cast. You're connected to everyone on this cast. The only person I was really connected to is Garrett. He's my best friend. The rest of the cast...
So Garrett's voting for you?
Yes, but I want immunity, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's fine.
Voting's due, by the way, in 32.
Relocate.
Alfie was the only other person I knew pregame, and he voted me out final 5 in another game and betrayed me. So I had no.
Game, right?
You're connected very well with the whole Stan brother, which I know.
I feel like
Pat
I really
too,
I'm not. If you say I'm connected with Stan brother, but then you also say, you think I'm connected with Stan brother, but then you also say Garrett's voting for you, like. Okay.
Well, see, I've known Garrett for a
Molly
lot,
went out because
years,
Molly went out because she asked me if I should use the idol, and I said no. Same with
Garrett
John. I could have used it on me. He told me to use it on him, and I didn't.
Or
so I was
Riley,
selfish with it.
So.
Riley, if you really want to make the easiest move, send me home. But if you want to send it to fire making, I could go anyway. That will garner you more respect in the jury, in my eyes.
He'd sink his game if you stayed.
We'll see. Because
let me know when you guys are ready to vote, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah? No?
If you don't want to make the easiest mate good for you, but you won't win, I'll say that.
Does anything else need to be said by, I feel like Tave and Riley haven't talked a lot.
Tell me one time Tavis made a move that was bad for his game that sent someone he liked home.
Tell me a good move he made.
No, but
No,
that's,
tell me. No, that was the question. So.
I can't.
Well, tell me a good move he made.
Wait,
So did you mess? What was your biggest mistake, Tave?
I don't think I made a mistake.
Oh, okay, you didn't, because I sent Molly home. I sent John home.
Wait,
I
that was
didn't
not
use
the
the item when I
question.
could have used it on them.
Wait, Henry, stop. That wasn't the. You said that you don't think I pissed anyone off that went home.
No, I didn't. I said what was the mistake that you made in the game. You didn't make any. And apparently I'm the biggest jury threat because these two other people that are clearly a duo are telling you that. Is that we think at least send it to fire making, Riley. At least send it to fire making.
I didn't know Tave before this game. The only connection I
Okay,
had
but
to Tave
are you
is
two not
Garrett
a duo? Peter, who would
No,
you have taken?
I was a
Tave or
duo with
Riley?
Garrett.
Hey, Peter, who
I
would you
would-
have taken? Tave or Riley?
100% I would have taken Riley.
Uh-huh.
I've been with him since the start.
I don't think I'm a duo with literally any of you three as well.
Okay.
I've been with Riley since the start, believe it or not.
Right. Okay.
Sure, we didn't vote together
We'll
the
see
first
what
vote, but
happens,
since
but
then I've been
Riley,
with
if
him.
you really do want to vote with them, you will not win in the end.
Okay.
You can say you got
He-
third place.
He's not
Is
going to
that
win in the.
more
Nobody's
impressive
going to win in the end if you're
Nah,
there.
Matt.
Henry, I know you're trying to stay, but nobody's going
Huh?
to win if you're there.
Wait,
That
Matt.
isn't true. What one move have I done that was better than anything you did?
You have friends in the jury more than anyone.
Friends, name one. Like I said, the
John,
reason
Molly.
they went home is because of me.
I don't care. They're still your
Does
friends.
Tave not?
I took an idiot
Does
to the
Tave
end in
not?
another game, but
Thing
since
is,
his friends
does
were in the end, they
Tave
gave
not?
him the win.
Thing is,
Wait.
Tave, do you not have
You're
the same
more-
friends in the jury?
But
But
Henry,
you
the thing
played
is,
with them
do you
this whole
not?
time.
sent them home
No,
and you
answer me
didn't.
that. Do
I
you not
sent
have the
them
same
home,
friends in the
Henry,
jury?
and you didn't. That's the difference. They're pissed off at me. I sent home Molly. I sent home
Oh
John.
no, I sent home because I was aligned with them. I was supposed to be loyal with them, and I didn't use the idol. And they both knew I had it. Molly had one. I told her not to use it. I could have
But that's
used
you
mine on
playing-
her. She could have used her own on her, and I didn't use it. Do you think she's going to be more mad at me or you? She was aligned with both of us pre-game. Both me and you know that.
Mhm.
So who do you think she's going to be more mad at?
Me.
Who had the idol when Molly
Gave
went
you
home?
the
Me or you?
idol. That
Who
just
went-
shows that she would
she
vote
gave-
for you to win. She was
Who
gonna
had
give
the
you
idol
the
when Molly left, Dave? Me or you?
I had one
Me.
too.
When Molly left? Really?
Yeah, I've had 2 idols this whole game.
Two? Where was the second one? That's pretty impressive if you ask me if you're having 2 idols, but okay.
I never used the second one.
Oh, that's pretty impressive as well, not having to use a whole idol. I had to use
Wait,
mine.
wait,
Okay,
but the
guys.
thing is,
So,
Henry,
Riley,
you
it's up
can't-
to
wait,
you.
Can I
But
please?
that's the case. If you want to do what this duo wants to do, then do it, but you will come
Do
third.
it.
I
So,
please
good
talk. I
luck.
feel like I haven't said anything.
Yeah, look,
Henry, the difference is I think
Not
me
using
and
an
Riley-
idol? Okay. Right, like that's less
Nah.
impressive than anything that I
Yeah,
did. I'll
so-
just say that.
hey,
I'll
can-
just say that.
Ri-
Riley, you know I've been loyal to you the whole game from the beginning.
Riley has requested a jury list, and it's gonna be quick. All right.
I'm trying to send the jury list. I can't remember the last one.
Alfie, Bennett, Skylar, Molly, Lewis, John, and Garrett. Tave, would you like to speak?
Oh.
After that, we're gonna vote. Okay.
I had everyone except Garrett. I was so confused.
I don't know. I mean, at this point, I still respect Henry. I still respect what he's doing. I don't want to force anything. If he makes it to, like, I don't. Like, I think me and Henry have the same friends, but, like,
I think he played the game with those friends.
yeah, I worked
I
against
was the reason the 2 friends
Your
went
closest
home.
ally was Garrett, I
Because
believe.
But
Me?
Henry, the difference is you
Me?
didn't send them home, though.
No, Tave.
Wait,
Okay.
what did you say?
I believe your closest ally was Garrett
Dave,
versus
they
Henry
both
was
asked me
working
to
with
use.
Molly and
They both
Okay,
asked
John.
me if an idol should be using them, and I
Okay,
said
guys.
no, and they both went home because of
Okay,
that. So
guys,
who
okay,
do you really
guys.
think is going to win? The person who didn't use their second idol, or me?
You.
Okay.
You dominated
Oh, right.
this game.
Makes
Okay,
sense.
okay,
Makes sense because you want your final 2 to get at the end. That makes
Hey.
sense.
Hey guys, sorry I had to cut you off. Lots was said. We can agree on that. I think enough was said. So with that, please vote right away. The votes are in. Once the votes have been read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to say their final words and leave the Zoom immediately.
Okay.
I will read the votes. First vote, Henry. Second vote, Tave. Third vote, Henry. Last vote, and the last person voted out SurvivorComp Live in the final member of the jury, Henry.
Okay.
Please say your final words.
Hi, Henry. I love you.
Good luck to all of you. I think, if I'm being honest, Tape probably has played the most impressive game. Maybe I'll tell it to the jury. Maybe that will influence it. Riley, I did think you make the wrong decision, but good luck. Good luck to all of you. I think you'll deserve it.
Okay.
Good luck.
You'll get your time on jury, Henry.
Okay.
so I just got voted out. It obviously sucks. To be honest, I don't think I played an amazing game, and the worst part is that I feel like the fact that Molly went home because of me, John basically went home because of me, and obviously that wasn't a good thing for my game. I feel like they kind of ignored that, and they kind of based their votes off just alliances that had had the whole game. I mean, it's Survivor. Think for your game about what happens week for week. Who's played the best game? I don't think it was me. But I feel like I argued my case well. 4th place is not the worst thing in the world, so I am happy with the game I played. Yes, it could have been better, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. And all 3 of the finalists deserve to win, in my opinion.
So I made it to the final 3. We was like, this is crazy. It's insane. Now I really have to kick it into high gear. I know coming into this final tribal council, I don't have a ton of votes. Really, what I'm hoping is that the votes can be just split, and I don't feel like there's anyone who's going to get a ton of votes. So I'm hoping I can somehow slip by and win with not the most amount of votes in the world, but just enough. I know I really have to explain what I did, and that's kind of hard because I don't really have a biggest move, which people love to ask, and it's just so annoying. But I definitely came into this game not probably the least connected person, actually, and yeah, I think I played a strong game. I was the only one to survive in the beginning of people who weren't in the majority on my original tribe, and I feel like I really came back from that. And I don't know, I feel like I made the right connections, and I worked with the right people at the right times, and I set up the moves when I had to, and I was a key player that everyone trusted and came to, and I feel like that's important, and that's what Survivor is. Ultimately, it's a social strategy game, not because you won 2 challenges at the end. Who cares? I know I don't. If anything, I wouldn't hate if Tave wins this game because I think he played a very good game, but ultimately I want to be the sole survivor, obviously, so I think I just have to be really hard on Tave and tear down his gameplay because I feel like I can discredit Peter's pretty easily. So yeah, wish me luck.
I feel like I played a really, really, really strong under the radar game, even though I was a little bit above the radar towards the end. I gave Skylar the idol. I got Rayshawn voted out. I feel like if Rayshawn did make a merge, he would have been a hell of a fucking uphill battle to probably beat in the end or get to the end or get rid of. Besides that, I made a lot of connections in the moment. A lot of these people, I had no idea who the fuck they were, and a lot of them were men, which is annoying because I like talking to girls and I like working with girls, but there was literally 2. And Kayla got voted out, and I voted Molly out because I felt I had to because Henry was immune. So I feel like I adapted a lot. I feel like I played hard. I had really strong connections. I did not get my name written down once this entire season, at any tribal. And I feel like I just made a lot of connections. I know I keep saying that, but I feel like I played a really, 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 really strong social game. I'm not good at winning comps and winning these dumbass immunities. I'm stupid, in real life and off. But I feel like I played a strong game. But I do know in this moment I am extremely tired. It's 4 a.m. I'm tired. I'm a little tipsy. And I'm ready to go the fuck to bed.
So I made the final 3. I'm so happy, I'm so excited, but it's time to focus and try to convince the jury as why I should win this game. I think I have a couple locked votes like Garrett and Alfie, but I'm next to some tough competition in Riley and Tave, so hopefully I can pull over some more. I'm not the best socially in trying to show the jury as why I should win, but my game does speak for itself. I've controlled a lot of votes, I've won 2 immunities, I came into the merge at such a huge disadvantage, yet I'm sitting here, and I think I played the best social game out of everybody. I played the best strategic game out of everybody. And out of everybody here, I've won 2 challenges, they've won none. So I've played the best physical game. I've outwit, I've outplayed, and I've outlasted, and I think I deserve to win this game.
Welcome to Final Tribal Council. Riley, Peter, and Tave, the power now shifts to the jury. People you have all had a hand in voting out. So this is how it's going to work. You all will have beginning speeches, and then the power turns to the jury. Okay. So Riley, I would like for you to go first.
I'm probably coming in here an underdog, but I genuinely do think I played the best game. I think the best thing a survivor can have is adaptability, and I feel like that's exactly what I did in this game. I voted with every single jury member multiple times, and I feel like I had a good connection with every single one of you, and that came up because I was never a target. I don't think my name was ever really on the block. I got 2 votes the whole game, and they were 2 throwaway votes that when I wasn't really the target at. And I feel like I could adapt even when things didn't go my way. Like, for example, I voted out Lewis instead of Skylar because I was really close to Skylar. But even though Lewis stayed, I still managed to work with Lewis very next vote to get with him, to blindside one of the big targets in this game. And I feel like that's what a survivor does. And I feel like I definitely downplayed my game this entire time, which is why I feel like I'm going in here such a little threat, because this entire time I was saying stupid shit like hugs, kisses, cry so much, but that's exactly what I wanted to do. I did not want anyone to ever target me. I wanted to get to the end. I don't really care who I got there with, as long as the biggest threats weren't there. And I feel like I did that by getting rid of Henry and Molly, and unfortunately John, and that was the hardest thing for me to do because John was definitely my number 1 in this game. And you can see my confessionals, I will actually be crying for that one, not the fake cries. I definitely feel bad for John the most, but I definitely had a good time playing with all of you, and I feel like my social games is not something to be messed with. And I feel like and the thing that separates me from Tave and Peter is that they were playing with the cards that were dealt with them, while I was the one dealing out the cards and deciding who I could work with going forward. And I was the one adapting, and I was the one pulling aces out of my ass, getting ready. And I never, ever, ever let the target be on me. And I can't say the same for Tave and Peter. So that's my speech.
I'll start off by saying, coming into this game, pre-game, I was playing harder than anybody, I believe. I had like a chat with every single person in the game at one point. Coming into pre-merge, I automatically started playing hard. I had a majority. We sent out Kayla and we sent out Matt, and I think those were 2 huge moves pre-merge. But coming at the swap, I had a 6-person tribe, and we had a plan to come into the merge and dominate the game. Exile kind of screwed that over. JD went home. Coming in, I come out without the numbers, but I still was able to play the middle. Every single one of those tribe members went home. I'm still here. I only received 3 votes all game. They were all 1 single vote at each tribal. I won immunity twice. I beat Henry and sent out who I believe is the biggest threat of this whole game. Come the John vote, I had a choice to either vote with John or vote with the other side. I was kind of playing the middle the whole time, and I really think I played the best game.
Hello, everyone. Going into this game, I've played a few of them. I've made it either not far or far. And this game was one of the hardest vote out games I've ever had to do. I had to vote out people that thought I was really, really close with them, which I was. And up until I felt like I needed to cut them when I thought they were threats, or when I had to adapt and knew that like certain things were like going on. Sorry, I got distracted. But I don't know. I'm just going to say that I do deeply apologize for the people that I probably completely blindsided, but I was always in the end goal, and I've never made it to Final 3, and I feel like I have made it, but I feel like I've never made it and played an actual, like, pretty fluid game. I actually got no votes this entire time. I remember the few times my names were brought up, I immediately got rid of those people, or I started talking about people like Bennett. The only reason I voted you out was because you didn't trust me that first vote, so I knew I was never going to work with you. Lewis, Skylar told me you were throwing my name around, so I knew I was never really going to actually work with you. And pre-merge, that idol that Skylar played, they got from me. So I was the reason Rayshawn went home, because I was thinking so far ahead that I knew if Rayshawn made merge, he would probably team up and I would probably go home. So that was the first idol that I got, and I was the first one. I gave it to Skylar. And then I had the second idol that I got, but it didn't need to be played. I'm not really good at talking. I'm really better at answering questions. I felt like I played a really good game. I think I had a lot of connections. I was really close with, obviously, the stand people, but also I was really close with the other side. But also, I did not plan on being in final 3 with either Peter or Riley, but I think that happened with me being adaptable and like just knowing what's going to happen, what's going to go on, and then like the Molly blindside, me sending John home, and then like Henry home. Those are all really fucking hard vote offs, but I don't know. This is the one game where I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. Like, I'm sorry if I make my friends mad. I still care about all of you guys outside of this. I understand if y'all feel mad at me, but I feel like I did what's best in my game. And I'm sorry, I'm really bad at giving speeches.
So I just want to say, first of all, that congratulations to all three of you for making it to the end. You know, I personally coming in did not expect to see really any of you sitting here. So I'm gooped. My wig is gone, period. And all I have to say is, like, obviously, because I'm first jury boot, I didn't really get time to work with you guys and have a good, real bond and get far. So all I can really say is if you could tell me your ideal final 3 coming into merge instead of this final 3 and why, that'd be great to hear.
If I'm just gonna be honest, because at this point there's no more point in lying, I feel like my ideal final 3 was Garrett and John.
Okay.
I'd say my ideal final 3 would probably be Kyler and Elfie. I know Kyler went early, but you were probably my closest ally throughout this whole game. Yeah. And if I was at the end with you two, I think I would have had a very strong chance of winning, especially with Kyler.
Yeah, I'd say.
That's a big it.
Yeah, but I would have beat him.
Going into merge, I definitely was planning to probably go to the end with John and Skylar. Those are the 2 people I trusted the most. And then shit hit the fan.
All right, thank you.
All right, I want to say Mazel Tov. Good job on making it to the end. The person I'm like most fascinated with their game is Riley, because throughout the game I thought you were like doing nothing, and then as jury went on and more people started coming, I'm like, wait, they were working with Riley, but I thought I was, but they were. So I just want you to explain, like, because you were working with everyone, but I want to know how you leveraged working with everyone and not just making it by every time.
Yeah, I've definitely positioned myself to be the swing vote every single vote. And even if I didn't vote with someone, I feel like I played the damage control game so well because I'm such a fluid person. And that thing I said back in tribal whatever, when I said I don't play in voting blocks, that was a total BS just to throw people off my back. I was definitely willing to work with anyone in any vote. So I always made it everyone's best interest to keep me in because they knew they could work with me. And so there's no reason to get me out if you're on the bottom or if you're on the top, because I'm still willing to work with you because I've been working with you this entire game. And as for controlling the leverages, I feel like you just have to have a point where you sit back and you're like, and you start analyzing who people are close with and who they're going to take and what the majority is. And you can either conform to the majority, which I did sometimes for the best of my game, or you can set up stuff weeks in advance, which is how I made my moves. I never made a move that was abrupt. I always set my moves up week in advance. I've DM'd multiple of you guys saying next week's the week to make a move, or 2 weeks from now is the week to make a move. And we did make those moves on those weeks, and that's how you control it. So even though I didn't vote with you this week, I always messaged everyone and made sure they were secure and being like, okay, even though we're on the wrong side of the votes, we're not on the same page. Next week, I'm going to be with you. So there's no reason to target me if I'm throwing you that vote.
Can I answer your question, Bennett?
That's all I need.
Hi everyone. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say I'm not bitter at all. I've never been that girl and I never will be that girl. But I just want to say my first question is for you, Peter. Currently, right now, as I sit here and talk, there's about 0% chance of me voting for you. Is there anything that you can say to me to change that?
I will say, Skylar, I really wanted to work with you genuinely, but as I worked with you, I got a bad vibe, and I heard from multiple other people that you were the snake vote at the Alfie. I was expecting for you to vote to keep Alfie, but I heard from multiple sources that you weren't it, because my whole game was I was aligned with everybody. I could have went any path to the end, but I chose this one because I thought it was my highest chance of winning. I voted you out. I was the one who led the charge to get you out just because I knew I couldn't trust you. And I knew, sure, you were playing up for the TV, but you were an amazing player throughout this game, and I genuinely thought you could have won.
Okay. Hi Riley. Hi, how are you?
Hugs. I'm so good. Kisses.
Good, good. Okay, so earlier on in the jury, I think a lot of people, I won't speak for everyone, but I will say there was a moment where people thought you were a little bit of a goat.
Yeah.
So what do you think was the moment that decided for everyone, hey, maybe he's not a goat?
Yeah. First of all, when people say I'm a goat, I would love for you to just like introspectively think like, who was I a goat for? And then you can't name a single person because that's just not true. Because Henry trusted me the entire game, even though I voted against him like 3 times. So you can't say I'm Henry's goat because even in Final Four, he was literally begging me to vote with him. I think the point where people probably started to realize that was when Molly home, but not even then, because after Molly went home and I voted her out, Henry actually, I don't know, Henry can speak for himself, but Henry was very much still willing to work with me, and actually he might have thought that I voted with him, which I tried to get him to do when I actually didn't, because he messaged me right after and like, okay, we have to pick up right after this, and I'm like, okay, yeah, totally. But really, I think the best part of my game is that maybe people kept thinking I was a goat, but that just wasn't true.
Okay. Hi. Hey, is it Tave?
Yes, it's
Okay,
Tate.
sorry, just making sure.
No,
Hi,
thank
how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah.
Good, good. Obviously, I have a little bit more of a connection with you just because very early on, even if it was a game move for you, you did give me an idol and you did save my ass. So first of all, I just want to say thank you. Second of all, I think that I would have respected it, I think a lot more, only if you had never DM'd me after the fact that I was voted out. I feel like that was the one mistake you did, just because I found out later, for everyone that doesn't know, he basically like DM'd me and said that he thought everyone was voting for me, so that's why he threw the vote on me. However, I learned later on that you knew you were going and voting for me, and then that was final. So I just want to say, do you think that was a move that you regret telling me that? And was that also jury management?
Firstly, the apology was completely sincere because I actually really did like enjoy you. And I remember when everyone wanted to vote you out first, I did not want to do that. And I'm not good with idols. So that's why I did that. That was like, and I wanted you to stay here. And secondly, the thing is when I said that at that time, I genuinely thought you were getting a lot of votes. And I doesn't mean all, I did say everyone, but I did not expect, because basically I feel like that vote, if I would have just voted Lewis out and I knew it was going to be that close, I would have voted Lewis out, if that makes sense. I had no idea that it was going to be like by one vote, because you were way more of a stronger ally than Lewis, but the only reason I voted you out was because I needed to really confirm working with Garrett and Peter, because I wanted to make a final 3 and I wanted to like have other connections. And I knew if I kept you, and I had 100% chance that those votes were going to be public. And that's why I voted you out, because I thought you were getting majority, and that would have proved to everybody who voted you that I was with them. I did not want to be in the minority that vote. So when I said that, I did mean when I met everyone, I kind of talk like that. I like don't really like, I'm not really direct with my words. I should have said majority, but besides that, that's why I voted you, because I knew the vote was going to be public. I knew I didn't want to be on the wrong side of the numbers, and I knew I wanted to guarantee Peter and Garrett's trust and everyone else and Lewis's trust a little bit to ensure that moving forward, they wouldn't target me and I would vote with them. But besides that, my apology, it was completely sincere. I actually really liked you. I really enjoyed your presence, and I don't regret giving you my idol, because I think you did not deserve to just go out that easy. So, yeah.
Thank you.
This is even really embarrassing to talk about. Jesus Christ. Okay, anyways, Matt, shut the Okay, I'm gonna talk to Peter first. Peter, I'm gonna be really real with you. I thought that you were messing with me when you were swearing on Dominic. I was like, he's using Dominic to his advantage.
I did use Dominic to my advantage to get an alliance with you.
I thought that you were swearing on Dominic to get me to use my idol because you wanted me to waste it.
I just wanted to try to build trust with you, because throughout the game, I had a strong alliance with everybody other than you and Henry. Like I had alliances with you, but I didn't work with you too much. And my thought was, if I got you to use the idol and save you, you'd be a loyal ally to me, and I could get somebody like a John out, who's a very big threat to my game. So that was my intentions on DMing you. And I thought maybe if I say Dominic and Emerson are 2 shared friends, you would maybe believe me. Because I knew we had hardly worked together the whole game, so you had no reason to trust me. It was kind of out of nowhere too, me telling you. It was just literally everybody DM'd me. Molly's going. I told Garrett, I got the votes with Garrett and Tav. We were like, we're sending Molly home. But my intentions were to have all of them vote you, including me, and then have you vote John and send him home.
Please. I'm so stupid. Okay, I really want to apologize because I was like,
It's okay.
I think that Peter's fucking with me. I think that he's using Dominic to get me to.
No, it was just I was trying to get John out without it being very like targeted against me, so he wouldn't be as bitter. It was kind of like jury management under the radar.
Okay. For Tave.
Am.
I know that we weren't each other's number ones,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought like I would have considered us close allies. No?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes. I would agree. I think we are actually probably the closest, ironically, allies we've probably ever been.
Yeah, I agree.
In games, but your vote off was 100% because Henry won immunity. Henry was going to go that round. We were all going to vote Henry out, and Henry won immunity. So honestly, Molly, the only reason I voted you was because I knew you were tight with Henry, and you just said we weren't number ones, and then you're really likable, and then you had an idol. I knew, like.
Am I likable? What?
Please, yes. But besides that, like, obviously we were really allies, but I think the game could have been way more different, and you could have went way farther with me if Henry did not win that immunity. That is the sole reason why everyone at least my game. Peter probably wanted you out for different reasons, and so did Riley, but I'm saying from my personal view, that's why you went home, because I knew you were strong. You were Henry's number one, and Henry won immunity. And you had an idol.
Henry,
Molly,
like
do you regret it
right
because you
now.
low-key threw that immunity to me?
I threw it to Henry. I did.
That's reunion talk.
Okay, so I'll address this in my question, I guess.
Okay.
But Molly, we were close allies, but that's when I adapted to the game. Like, I didn't want to vote you out, but I'm going to have to because I wanted to ensure, again, with Garrett and Peter, that I was with them. Because at that point, I knew the sides were starting to form, and that's why I voted you out, even though I didn't want to. But I adapted to the game and did what I had to do. And I'm sorry. You know I love you.
Okay, Riley. I know that we were in the alliance together. What would you say was alliance you were like most loyal to?
I would say, honestly, the one with me and John. Yeah. That was just the one, like the sub one. And then me, John, and Tav also had like a subset one. And I didn't really want to get Tav and John out early. So that was what I was most loyal to. I was very loyal to the 6, I feel like. I mean, we made it all the way to what, like final 9? So I can't say that I was disloyal to that alliance. However, I do feel like I turned at the right time because going forward, it was very clear that was the best move for me, considering that Henry automatically put all of his trust from you and transferred it over to me because he just about told me everything. And that felt really good. And I felt like I finally had it there. Meanwhile, with you, I was like, okay, like Molly's cool. She's like a queen or whatever, but like, we're not really DMing that much. And yeah, she's definitely closer to other people than me. So I got to get her out right now. And the thing about me is I was definitely willing to say people's names in this game. I was definitely setting up your vote a couple weeks in advance, and I was like, Molly or Henry got to go. And I feel like I was very, very willing to say names to the people who were on the outs. I would never say names to the middle people. So I would never tell middle people that your name was coming up because I knew that it would get back to you. But people who are literally against you aren't going to tell you that I said your name or whatever. So that's why I never told Garrett that it was you. And then Garrett came up and confronted me and was like, oh, don't leave me out of this vote. I'll vote Molly. But
I feel like, oh, sorry. Wait, okay. Also, I feel like what Riley just said is like, he 100% did not like bring that out of his ass. Me and Molly, I mean, everyone kind of knew that Molly and Henry were a threat. I talked to Garrett about this. I talked to Peter about this. I talked to John about this. So he 100% did not set up y'all's vote like by himself.
I didn't set by myself.
But I just wanted to make that kind of clear.
Yeah, just definitely cite me next time when I say by myself, because I didn't. But there's definitely contributed to help setting it up.
Yeah, because I was the reason I think Garrett knew, and that's and that's maybe why Garrett told you.
What, Molly's vote?
It was Peter.
Oh, then yeah.
You didn't even tell me.
Does that
No, I didn't mean
answer-
that. No, I didn't mean that.
Okay, does that answer your questions, Molly?
Yes.
I have one question for all of you. Looking at the other two games, I want to know, what do you think were the biggest flaws in the other two games? So, Tave.
I don't know. I'm not really good with these. I think we all played a really good game, which is why I won't really care. I think Peter played a really strong game, differently than I did, and differently from Riley. I don't know. It's kind of hard. I think at times Peter probably didn't trust like a few people because he really wanted like Henry out a lot at the beginning, but I mean he got his way eventually. I don't know. Riley could be seen as an underdog or like a goat. I wouldn't say even Riley's a goat because I'm not going to throw him under the bus. But maybe that Riley could be seen as a goat and that Peter sometimes didn't get his way. But I mean, we all ended up here and we all got our way. So.
Okay, same question to you, Peter.
I would say Riley's biggest flaw is he was very unpredictable to everybody, and every big alliance I was in, he wasn't involved. He was always left out as like he'd be the swing vote that like we could just drag him along with us and then cut him off later, or like and yeah, he could be. I don't think he is a goat at all, but he could definitely be seen as one. Like I remember somebody made a comment about is Riley even playing before we merged. But I guess that could be a flaw in his game, but you could also say it's a good thing. With Tave, I'm sorry.
That's my flaw.
I could say Tave's biggest flaw is probably, I don't know. I honestly, I don't know too much about Tave's game, to be honest, to say a flaw about it. I would say, I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know his game enough.
Okay.
I only
Riley?
worked with Tave through Garrett. Sorry.
That's fine. Riley?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just wanted to reiterate that we all played amazing games. I'm not trying to destroy y'all or anything, not like that. Yeah, I would say Peter's biggest flaw was that he was never really in control. He was just kind of like getting bones thrown to him when he was on the bottom, like starting from merge on. Because I was definitely on the bottom pre-merge, but I was definitely playing that game. And then as for Tave, I feel like it's exactly what kind of Peter was hinting at, but couldn't exactly get the right words to. It's kind of like Tave was just kind of like there, and no one really had like. I feel like not many people had so much of a emotional one-on-one connection with Tave. I know I didn't. I know it was like that relationship was purely strategic, and I felt like with others I could like more emotionally invest myself, so it was hard to vote them out. And if Tave's name did come up, I feel like it would have been easy to vote out. So I feel like that was definitely his biggest flaw. But I don't know, other people may feel differently. But I know for me, even as Peter said, I was left out of majority alliances, but clearly my one-on-one relationships was where my emotional connections really shined because I was still not the target at all.
Congrats, you three. I'm like 90% decided with my vote already, but have all three of you like watched past Survivor seasons? Kinda. Okay, I'm just gonna do like a fun question. If you had to choose like one Survivor player that kind of like exemplifies your game from this game, like who would you choose based on like if that makes sense? Yeah. Anyone can go, it doesn't matter.
I'll start off with Steven Fishback. Like in Token Teens, he is kind of nerdy and it's not a very social person, but he made a social connection with everybody in the game and controlled it strategically. And he made it to the end and lost 7-0 on a jury vote, but he played a hell of a game and he was next to JT. That's always who I play as in games.
Honestly, I would maybe say Kim, because I think what Riley was saying was right. I feel like I kind of was just like here, but because a lot of people, I think when Kim seasons originally came out, thought she was kind of a boring winner. But I think I would
You're
sorry,
muted.
sorry, my cat was running around. But I would say Kim, because I was in a lot of majority alliances. I had a lot of like connections one-on-one, and even if they weren't super heavy, I feel like anytime my name would get thrown out there, I just want to cut those people off. The only difference is like I didn't have a girl group like Kim did, which is kind of sad. But yeah, I would say Kim, because she played a pretty easy, normal game. Yeah, I would say Kim.
I would say the person I normally play as, Todd Herzog. Not only am I small, a twink, gay, and Mormon, but I'm also someone who was definitely snaking my way around, being like this the entire game, going after big targets, kind of switching back and forth. And I'm sure Todd didn't necessarily want to go to the end with the people he wanted to go to, as it was a very close vote. And as I stated earlier, I wanted to go to end with John and Skylar, and that's not how it worked out. But Todd was able to adapt, and Todd still ended up winning, even though it was great competition in the end. Yeah, and I feel like I was able to make strategic and social moves.
Okay, congrats, you three. That's all I have.
So let's see. Riley, you said the Molly vote was kind of like you were integral in that, but then you actually DM'd me, if Molly goes, we shouldn't get Henry out next. And that's why I went to Molly and told her to play the idol, because I wanted Henry out next. So I think if anything, like, you were the reason she almost used her idol and almost didn't go home. And I would say Peter was definitely the one who got me to vote for Molly for sure. So, and it was 5-3. So that means that I do think that Peter did that move. But so my question for you would be like, is there any specific move other than that one that you think like you are 100% integral in?
I definitely first want to preface this by saying that Tave, Peter, and I'm pretty sure all could not say we are 100% responsible for one move, because it takes multiple people to vote for someone. So that's A, what I want to preface that by saying. And B, I think a very good move that I made was actually Final Five, when I didn't know that Henry told me he had an idol, but I wasn't actually sure if he did. But I made sure that he put the vote on you, which actually would have been great, because if in case I didn't have an idol, then that would have tied, and I think you would have went home anyway. So I definitely saved my ass there, and that you can actually say was 100% me. Make sure he voted that way, because he was definitely looking to me as to who to vote for. Because I was the only one who's thinking about voting with him, and I really was contemplating it, just because I thought the rest three of you were voting Henry anyway. But I decided that I need to vote him in order to have any chance of not getting targeted the next round. And if he did have an idol, that's great. He's going to play. He's going to be safe. Doesn't matter if I vote him or not. So that's definitely something I can say I was 100% integral in.
Wait, can I ask Tave and Peter? So if he didn't have the idol, would have tied, would you have voted for me or Riley?
I would have
voted for Riley.
Not this retrospect.
Okay, well, Tave, you said you had, wait, so there was an idol you never played? So you had
No,
3?
that was a lie that I told them at the Final Four.
So you only had 2?
I had 2, yeah.
Okay, 5. Never mind. That kind of messed up my question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you did say she was like, you played like Kim, but I think like what specific moves were like you completely controlled them, because Kim like literally completely flipped votes, I'd say, and I don't know if your game was completely like Kim. Also, I would also like to ask another question. I think your game was a lot easier because there were people you knew before the game, and like not to like I think you're doing really good this show council, but you were kind of known for not being that good at speeches, so I think that definitely helped you, but I think you're doing good right now. But I'll just say those pregame things I think helped you. So if you can just answer the Kim question and that question, then that's all I have.
Definitely I did not 100% control like how Kim did. That's why it was kind of hard to answer. I think I would use that on if on a little bit of like a more like not like I don't know, like a more like basic level of like Kim's gameplay. I 100% agree. Because I was going off of what Riley said that a lot of us like didn't really like full on be like, you know what, this. And I think the people that kind of did were maybe you, Garrett, or like Henry or John. We were kind of the people who like, you know what, let's go rally some people up. So I would definitely say that. And then the second question, like the thing is, when I play these games, like I know that I like kind of know a lot of people, but the thing is I never let that stop me. I talk to everybody, like everyone. Like I talk to everyone from either people I know or people that I don't know. Like I literally met Skylar today and for some reason gave her the idol because I was like, you know what, I want to make that connection. Or I think I've honestly like, or I really wanted to work with Bennett until like he flat out lied to me and was like, we're voting John. And I was like, okay. So I feel like, or Lewis, I've never played a game with before, but like he gave me a reason to not trust him because he was throwing my name out a very little bit to Skylar. I would say like I do know a lot of people coming in, but I always feel like the people that I know coming in like never really 100% have my back. And that's why I kind of create like things and I talk to other people because like I feel like everyone who I come in with like I'm always kind of like their third or fourth. I'm never their number one, if that makes sense. It always kind of happens because I adapt to it. Like Garrett, you became my number one when Molly got voted out, you know? Or like, yeah, just stuff like that. Like I think I do know a lot of people coming in, but I'm like never ever really like super strong allies. I want to be, and that's why like I did work really close with you, Skylar, John, Molly, Henry, but like things happen, things change, and like people have to get voted out. Sorry, I am so bad at speeches.
No, this time you're doing so good. Wow, I'm proud. Okay, Peter, I think I do see your game a little bit more because I think pre-merge you were definitely the reason Matt went home because you told me he threw my name and that's kind of why he went home. So I think that was a move for you. The Molly one, that was 100% your move because otherwise I wouldn't have known and it would have been 4-4. So the Molly one was definitely your move. And I think your game was a lot harder because the tribes did like completely stick together, like with the exception of like Skylar for the first vote. Mostly everyone stuck together. So I think you did have to play a lot harder. And I think social bonds aren't as strong if you don't know anyone like the way Tave knew people. Like that's not anything against him, but I do think you had to play a lot harder because of that. But I guess my question for you would just be, well, wait, let's see. So at final five, who is your ideal final three?
My ideal final three at final five.
Be
Probably
honest, I
me,
won't
Tave,
care
and
if it's not
me, Tave, and you.
Okay.
Okay, so a question for everyone. Tave, I do feel like even after the final four pleas, even before the final four pleas, I feel like Riley would have voted me out no matter what. Why did you think that claiming you had an extra idol that you didn't need to use would have been good for you in your game and not have harmed you and made you look like a bigger threat?
Because I think if I said that I gave my idol to Skylar, that you guys all could have seen like, no, I'm not saying Skylar is a vote for me, but like a vote for me. And that was something that happened. That was a successful move that literally happened the first tribal council. So like at that point, you were the biggest target and you were kind of like giving me a run for my money. So like when I said that, I didn't even want to show my cards like at all. Like I didn't want a chance at all for you to like get them to somehow kind of flip because you were scaring me like at the final four tribal council. So when I said that lie, like it was strictly because I didn't want anything else on my resume that already wasn't out there that you said.
But at the same time, you could have just not mentioned the idol instead of saying I had an idol that I didn't use. I feel like that's something
Oh,
very impressive.
I think I mentioned that because I accidentally slipped up and then I couldn't go back. So I was like, I'm just gonna say like whatever. Like I think that's where it genuinely came from, but I kind of don't remember.
Okay. my question for Riley is, after hearing everything that the jury has said, let's say Peter hadn't won immunity. Say you'd won it, for example. Do you still stand by your decision of voting me out, or would you vote Peter out, or would it have changed your opinion after hearing what people have said in the jury speeches?
Matt, can I ask you a question real quick?
Me?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
do we get closing speeches?
Brief, sure.
Okay. I was just okay. Never mind. Okay. Anyways, I think I do stand by my decision. I still cannot really pinpoint game moves that Tave necessarily did, but I could definitely pinpoint game moves that you did, which is a lot easier to convey to a jury. Even after hearing all this, I feel like that's the choice to make. You definitely had a case for yourself. You were definitely opinionated and had a single side you were on, and I feel like that's the best case you could possibly bring to a jury. Meanwhile, all three of us weren't necessarily like that. We were all kind of fluid, and I feel like I played the best fluid game out of these three, which is why I thought I had the best chance to go against these two in the finals.
Okay. And I do have one general question at the end, but I have another question. Peter, before the merge, this is before the merge, do you value your personal game placement and getting further in a Twitter game in general more than going against the general consensus of voting someone out who has been described by many people as a bigot? Talking about Kyla. And do you think that it was really the right move, like a general kind of level of voting out Kayla than
Okay,
him who'd been the victim?
I get what you're saying, and I 100% stand by my decision, because had Kyler gone home, I would have been next. Kayla was targeting me, and she had allies with Riley and Bennett. She would have been able to get the numbers to send me home, but I flipped the script and made a move against her and just took over the tribe from there. It was definitely a self-preservation thing, and I understand how it could look bad, but I didn't want to be second boot. I wanted to make the final three like I am now and possibly win.
Okay. And I have a final question, which is actually for the jury. I want to know who had a final two or final three or anything with anyone in the final three right now. Like, who had a deal with anyone that's still in the jury right now? Did anyone? And
Wait,
what was that?
what was the question?
So if you're in the jury right now, like myself, if you had like a final two with Tave or like a final two with Peter or a final three with anyone, just I want to hear like if anyone
Not a
did
final
and
two.
what
I had a
it
final
Not
was.
a final two.
Dave and Peter, and I was gonna take Riley.
Okay. And what about Skylar? Did you have one?
My final three, ironically, is the same as Riley's. It was John and Riley.
But I was, yeah.
John and Riley. Okay. So Riley, you had multiple final deals with people.
I was always
And
saying.
did loyalty not play a part in your gameplay, or did you just want to do whatever you had to do to get to the end?
I feel like I was definitely playing a mix again. I feel like I never like 100% backstabbed everyone every single week. I was definitely loyal at some points in the game, but again, this is a game, especially like not a very personal game considering there's no prize money and like it's Zoom. So I was definitely more willing this game to be more disloyal, yes.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Very brief because everyone's really tired. Final speeches, and I will start with Peter.
Okay, I will say my best game move would be coming into the merge. I was on the tribe on the bottom, yet I still didn't receive votes at any tribal other than the one that was the switch where John went home. I was able to keep the target off my back because I had a connection with every single person in the game minus Henry, and I was in multiple alliances with every single person in the game. I kept my name off the block. I just went along with the Alfie and Bennett votes, and then come Skylar, I pushed Skylar. I was the one who put his name out there versus Lewis because I knew I could trust Lewis 100%. I didn't trust Skylar. Molly vote, I definitely think I was a head factor of that. I convinced Garrett to vote Molly. I put the 5 votes there, talked to everybody involved, and sent her home. Lewis vote, that was another vote. I just went along because I knew it was the right thing for my game at the time. If I tried to make any waves, I don't think I'd be here now. I also knew after the Lewis vote, we were sending John home. I definitely think I was a contributing factor to that. John was definitely one of my closest people in the game that I got to know. I genuinely got a very strong love and respect for him because of how kind he was. But I knew that also contributed to how strong he is game-wise. I thought John gets some traction, he's gonna win. Pre-game, I said John's the biggest threat in the game, and I think that's definitely my best move as my social game. I won 2 immunities. Winning those immunities was what made it to where we could take out Henry. And this is my first Zoom game. I came into the game with no connections other than Garrett and Alfie. Alfie, I knew him because in a natural selection game, a different type of game, he betrayed me and voted me out of the final 5. Didn't know if I could trust him. I just knew him. Garrett, he's been one of my close friends for a long time. So I knew I could trust him. I was able to pre-game that good to where almost everybody had a trust, at least for me. And I was able to work with everybody and keep my name off the block. So that's why I think I deserve to win.
Save a brief statement, please.
I would say that I feel like I played this game pretty well. I would also say what Riley's saying. I was really fluid. I had to backstab some people because I just knew like I had to like move forward with the alliances that I was going with. I feel like I played a strong game. I was always on the right side of the votes except for when Henry played his idol. And then I never won a challenge. I had to completely rely on my social aspect of the game. I'm not good at challenges. I think we all know this. If you don't, you should by now. So I'm just had to completely rely on like making sure the people who I was working with felt like they needed me. So when it felt like I didn't need them anymore, I would just vote them off and I would be able to move forward and not in kind of a threat way. I really had a hard time voting off Skylar, John, and Molly. And it's just something I had to do because I felt like at that point I needed to secure going forward in the game and getting to the end. Because like I said, I didn't have a final 3 with either of these people, but I had to adapt to the game and I had to just make moves that I didn't like necessarily feel was like right in my heart, but I knew it would get me farther in the game and not make me look like a threat if I like ever did anything that was like out of pocket. Besides that, I had a lot of fun. I respect everyone. I love everyone here. I don't have any hard feelings. I definitely think I played a really strong game. I'm not good at speeches, but that's it. And yeah, thank you.
Riley, a brief statement, please.
Yes, I would love for you to think of this game in a vacuum, meaning that, like Peter, I had basically no connections coming in. I knew Skylar from my last game, Matt game, which I voted out. So that wasn't too good of a relationship necessarily to start with. And I had John, but we never really DM'd each other. I wouldn't say we were besties before we were both casted in this game, but I definitely rekindled that relationship. Those were the only 2 people I knew pregame as well. So I feel like I was definitely had to work my ass off every single week or like every single second, every single message to try to build these relationships with other people because I knew I was starting from nowhere and I wasn't as connected. I would say I was less connected than these 2. Yeah, I feel like my real strength was my social game and I was able to connect with all of you and I had a great time. And I feel like voting some of you out was the hardest part. Some of my cries were real, I promise. And even though I think the best part of my game was my damage perception. No one ever saw me as threatening, even though I was left out of these majority alliances, even though I was left out of this. I feel like in the most part, I was in the majority, and for the most part, people wanted me on their side because they all thought they had me in their little pocket on the side of their alliances, when really I had all these pockets that I could just choose from and grab from when I needed spare change to get that vending machine, to get that chocolate bar that will get me over the line and eventually get me to the end of this game, which is exactly where I am right now. So.
All right, jurors, the time has finally come 7 hours later. And
Girl.
All right, let's read the votes, guys. First vote, Peter. Second vote, Riley. Third vote, Tave. That's 1 vote each for each finalist. Fourth vote, Peter. 2 votes, Peter. Fifth vote, Tave. That's 2 votes, Tave. Sixth vote, Riley.
Oh.
So we're at 2 again for each person.
I was ready to collect my 3rd place crown.
The way I'm actually shaking right now, what the fuck?
Seventh
So
vote,
good.
Peter. There's 1 vote left. 3 votes, Peter. 2 votes, Riley. 2 votes, Tave.
Not this being the same vote count.
Final vote, Riley. So what happens now?
Not
What
this.
happens now?
Not this.
Tape votes for
We
the
have only seen it once in Survivor history.
Hugs,
In
Dave.
Survivor Ghost Island, the
Tape.
third place person got to vote. Tave, you are voting. Riley
Not
and
Tave
Peter.
being Laurel.
Riley and Peter, no DMs to Tave. Tave, do not take any DMs. I just need you to
Please,
send me
this
your
was a
vote.
lot.
Hands
Tape,
up.
take my DMs.
My phone's all the way over
Pathetic.
there.
I really want to tell
Dave-
Tape who to fucking vote for right now
Dave,
because
let-
he's
let-
so obvious.
Let him vote himself. Let him vote himself. The winner
Not
of the
this.
very first season of Survivor Comp Live is Riley. Congratulations,
Oh.
Riley.
Oh my
You are
gosh,
the sole
Hugs.
survivor.
Peter was
That's
wrong.
Riley.
Peter was wrong.
Tape, what
Period.
was that, honey?
Mazel
Yes.
tov.
Tape.
Peter,
The
fair
only
Tape.
play.
reason okay, wait, let me say the only reason I voted Riley is because we were working together longer than me and Peter were.
What the
Like,
fuck does that
true.
have to do with
Why
the
is
winner
that
of
a
the
reason
game?
to vote for?
Hey everyone, it's the host of Survivor Comp Live, Matt here, and just like that, we are done the very first season of Survivor Comp Live. Congratulations, Riley, you came out on top and you played a phenomenal game. The rest of the final three, good job as well. 3-3-2 tie vote, you can't get closer than that. It was a really good season, I really enjoyed it, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Those who stuck with me since episode 1, thank you very much. Those who just watched, thank you very much. We are doing a season 2. It should be fun. It's going to get posted this week sometime. So pay attention to my Twitter. Sorry, I'm just making this after editing season 1. Season 1's not over, though. We do have a few more Ponderosa episodes, which is our jury reactions. So you're going to want to see Henry and his reactions. We haven't got Lewis up yet. We didn't get John and Garrett up yet. So pay attention to that. And then, as you saw at the end, they had a lot to say when Riley won. Obviously, some disagreements. And those disagreements are going to be taken to the reunion, which should be posted. I'm not sure when yet, but it's going to get posted. We do have a special moderator. It's not going to be my annoying ass. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. One more thing. I would like to give a huge thank you to Jack, my assistant producer, whatever you want to call it. He was on production. He helped me with all the votes and whatnot. My fallback man. And also our two jury moderators, Austin and Ryan. So thanks very much. And I'll see you in season 2. Take care.